Hey friends, I am Sunish from Team MAST, and in this video I'm going to discuss a trick to solve these kind of questions. The kind of question which you are seeing right now on your screens, these kind of questions I'm going to solve in this video. If you remember that in my previous video also I solved these kind of questions using a trick. Then why am I solving these similar type of questions again with another trick? What is the need? If you remember, then in my previous video I said that the trick had its pros and cons. The plus point of the previous trick was that you could simply solve these kind of questions just at looking at the number. Ooh, that's great deal, you know. What's better than this? If you can simply answer the question just at looking at the number, what could be better? But the limitation was you could only solve these questions if the number inside the root was even. Like in this case, the question you are seeing right now, and the number here is 7, which is odd. So that trick would totally fail if the number inside the root was odd. So this is the need. So in this video I'm going to discuss a general approach. I won't say that it's a trick though, but it's a general approach which you can go about solving each and every kind of questions, this kind of question. So let's start with it. First, let me take an example where the number is even, so that I can make a comparison between the time comparison of the time consumption of the two videos, two tricks. So let me take an example where the number is even. Now as you see that the number inside the root is 12, which is even. So let me solve this by the general approach. Now what does this approach say? Assume that this whole number, this thing to be equal to x. So now I can simply write this way, that root of 12 plus x is equivalent to x. That won't make any difference because I took the whole number, that root of 12 plus the root of 12 plus root of 12 plus root of 12 plus up to infinity, and you decreasing it by 1 won't make any difference because it's up to infinity. So I can simply write this way, that root of 12 plus x is equivalent to x, which further can be simplified as 12 plus x equal to x square. Now if I do some simplification again, it would be x square minus x minus 12 equal to 0, which is simply a quadratic equation. You can go about solving this. X square minus 4x plus 3x minus 12 equal to 0, which can be written further as x minus 4 plus 3x minus 4 equal to 0, which means x equal to 4 comma minus 3. Now the negative number, we are going to discard this number, and simply the answer is this 4. Now talking about time consumption, in my previous video I discussed a trick. Using that trick you could simply answer this question at a glance within a second, which won't even have taken you more than second or two, at max 2 seconds. But using this trick it took me about half a minute, so that was a bit time consuming. But as I said, the previous trick had some limitation, which was if the number was here, suppose if the number was odd, that trick totally failed. So now let me take an example where the number is odd and then go about solving this question. Now as you can see this in this question, the number here under the root is odd, that is 7, which is odd. So let me solve again, taking this whole number to be x, which simply means that root of 7 plus x is equivalent to x, which further can be written as 7 plus x is equivalent to x square, which further can be written as x square minus x minus 7 equal to 0. Now again, this is a quadratic equation which you can solve. This one I would solve using quadratic formula, because you don't have to put your brains to that formula. Simply substitute the value where the formula says that x is equal to minus b square plus 4ac divided by 2a. And I won't be solving this further. You know this formula, and you can go about substituting the values and you would get the answer. So my final words being, both the methods have their own pros and cons. You need to know both the methods, and let me assure you that this question is most probable one to be asked in any kind of bank exam. So wherever the time is barrier, you know, you could solve about these questions. So what I would say is, just look at the question, and if the question inside the root is, the number inside the root is odd, then go about solving by the general approach. If it's even, then save your time and go about solving this by my previous video. And in case you have missed my previous video, you can see it, the link in the description below. In case you have turned on your annotations, you can see the link right now on your screens. So that was it for this video. Do subscribe to our channel Team MAST, as there are a lot more videos coming on. Till then, be MAST and keep rocking as always.